And welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at Singularity, which is a first-person shooter released back in 2010. Now, I don't think this game sold very well, and certainly when it first came out I didn't even know it existed, and it's only recently stumbled upon it, so I thought I'd do a quick review on it now, and hopefully if any of you like what you see, you'll go out and buy the game. It's probably too late to actually do any good now, but it's still worth picking up. Now, as you can see, it's just pretty much a typical first-person shooter game, but it does have a slight twist in that it has some time mechanics in it and time manipulation. You'll get this device close to the beginning of the game, which lets you rewind and fast forward time, basically, only on certain objects. So it's like if a staircase is broken, or indeed a wall in some certain cases, you can rewind the time on it, so then put it back to how it was originally. And it's quite I enjoyed fiddling with that all the way through the game. It never really got old to me. And you can use it tactically as well. If there's like a walkway later on, you see an enemy coming across it, age it, and it'll all crumble, and the enemy will go down with it, of course. And you see these things listed throughout the game. Now, it is limited to only certain items. They do explain it in the game. It's only like certain items that include this new molecule or something. I can't quite remember, but that's how they explain you can't do it on everything. You can actually use it as a weapon as well against enemy soldiers, and if you use it on them, it'll kind of fast forward the aging process, and it'll weirdly mutate into some kind of monsterish thing that'll then just randomly go and start attacking the rest of the soldiers. That's quite tactical. To be honest, I never really use that much because that seems to use a hell of a lot of your power. So what I prefer doing, well, apart from shooting them obviously, is to emit this pulse, which doesn't cost that much. And if you're in close proximity, it'll emit this pulse right near a soldier, and it'll just blow the heads, legs and arms off. And I shouldn't say this, but it's actually really funny to watch. And you can also do the usual pick up, grab. And there's actually some puzzles during the games. Well, say puzzles. You know, we'll have a gate which you can't quite crawl under. So if you get a box, reverse, speed up the aging process so it crumples down, put it under the gate, then reverse the aging process. It'll go back to its original size and push the gate up. And I think stuff like that just keeps it feeling quite fresh, really, rather than just like a typical linear shooter, which this really is. It's helped by these things. And also, what does need to be pointed out is the fact of the guns. I know everyone goes about Borderlands and everything having amazing guns. I mean, this doesn't have hardly any, to be fair. There's probably about 10 in the whole game. But there's a few guns in the game that are absolutely brilliant. The one that really stands out for me is the remote-controlled sniper. Basically, you fire the gun, and then mid-air you can control the bullet and turn it and everything, and it never ever gets boring. Just steering the bullet into round the corner, straight into some soldier's face, and it's absolutely hilarious every time. And it just explodes into one big mushy melon sort of thing. And there is another one as well. It's like you can fire off like these grenades and actually roll them along the floor to control them. I couldn't work out how to use that at first. I just kept rolling in front of me, and I didn't realise I could actually steer it around corners and everything. So that's quite good to play with as well. Now, the story of the game, I've actually tried to put a decent story into it for a change. And basically, it's this island off the coast of Russia, where they find some new element, start fiddling around with it, and basically it all goes tits up in the end. It always seems to. But it's set in two separate timelines. The present day, and due to this singularity which keeps emitting pulses and causing time rifts, you'll end up jumping back to 1955 as well, and you'll sometimes see the worlds blurring into each other as well. Like you'll see like shadows of past events, like this creepy moment where you see this woman telling the kids to all get under the tables, and then when that vanishes you can then actually see the corpse is still under the tables, so obviously whoever was coming to get them got them. But stuff like that is quite interesting, and when you go back through some rifts back into 1955, you can actually change some events there, which of course then change the present day. And it's funny seeing just how even slight changes, like if you save a person's life, I mean, I think this is all linear, you can't pick and choose, I'm afraid, but say if you go back into 1955 and save someone in a burning building, which you will do, that'll then have a huge impact on the future. And there's just loads of parts like this where you'll go back, change something in order to try and fix the present, and then generally make it worse. And I think it's a really clever touch, and I really enjoyed that. and there is well, I say multiple choice ending. There's two choices at the end, depending on how that outcome is. I've not seen the second choice yet, but I shall get onto that. But all I can say about this game is really, I did really enjoy playing parts of it. There are a couple of parts where you're in caves that just seem to go on a little too long, and you can tell that it's not quite got the budget that Modern Warfare games have, or Battlefield for instance. But for the money it had, I think they've done a brilliant job of the game. And to be honest, it's probably what, about £10 to £12 to pick up new these days. If you don't want to pay that much, it is definitely still worth a rent, because generally I buy games, clear them and sell them, but I think that's going to stay on the shelf for a bit because I kind of want to do it again. So that's the best endorsement I can really give a game, to be honest, because I sell almost everything. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you next time.